One of the Texas Longhorns' most significant moves for the 2026 season may have gone unnoticed by most fans and analysts. While much of the attention focused on high-impact signings, coaching staff changes, and the arrival of marquee names, Steve Sarkisian was also working strategically on an area that often decides championships: the interior defensive line. Although this move didn't garner the same headlines as other team decisions during the offseason, it could prove to be a crucial factor in the Longhorns' success next season. After wrapping up the 2025 campaign without achieving the goal of winning the college football playoff, Texas entered the offseason determined to address specific roster needs. The team already boasted abundant talent at key positions, particularly on offense, but the coaching staff knew that contending for a national title requires depth across the board. With this in mind, Sarkisian sought to bolster the defensive tackle rotation, a position vital for controlling opponents' running games and allowing the rest of the defense to play more freely. Much of the media coverage focused on the arrival of new defensive coordinator Will Muschamp and transfer portal activity, including the signing of wide receiver Cam Coleman. These changes naturally drew attention because they involved well-known figures in college football. However, alongside those moves, Texas was quietly reshaping the interior of its defensive line, an area that could prove decisive throughout the season. Perhaps the biggest offseason victory was retaining Hero Kanu on the roster. The defensive tackle chose to delay his move to the NFL and return to the program for another season. This decision is a massive boost for the Longhorns. Kanu arrived at Texas prior to the 2025 season without much national fanfare, but quickly developed into one of the defense's most important players. During the last campaign, he recorded 30 tackles for loss and 2 sacks, figures that help explain the impact he made on the field. Beyond the stats, Kanu demonstrated the ability to handle double teams, pressure the quarterback in key moments, and contribute against the run. In a conference as physical as the SEC, having a player with this profile makes a huge difference. His return ensures continuity for the defense and provides a role model for younger players looking to break into the rotation. But Sarkisian didn't stop at simply retaining the roster. The coach also utilized the transfer portal to further bolster the unit. One of the key additions was Ian Jeffrard, arriving from Arkansas. Standing an impressive 6 feet 5 inches and weighing approximately 375 pounds, Jeffrard brings a very specific set of traits. His primary mission will likely be to occupy space in the middle of the defensive line, absorbing multiple blockers and stifling the opponent's running game. This type of player doesn't always show up in traditional stats, yet plays a crucial role in a modern defense. By drawing the attention of the opposing offensive line, he creates opportunities for linebackers and edge rushers to attack the ball with greater freedom. If he can quickly adapt to Muschamp's system, Jeffrard could play an essential part in the team's defensive balance. Another addition was Zion Williams, a transfer from LSU. Still quite young, the redshirt freshman arrives without the expectation of being an immediate starter. However, his physical stature is impressive. Standing around 6 feet 4 inches and weighing approximately 370 pounds, Williams possesses traits considered ideal for development at the position. The coaching staff views him as a long-term project, someone capable of maturing within the program and taking on greater responsibilities in the coming years. In addition to the newcomers, Texas has also managed to retain players poised for a significant performance leap in 2026. Alex January returns to the roster after gaining experience within the program and is considered a top candidate to see increased playing time in the defensive rotation. His steady development over recent seasons has created expectations for a breakout campaign. Another player to watch is Murad Watson. Following his first season with the program, he enters 2026 better adapted to the system and with the potential to contribute more consistently. The same applies to Myron Charles and Josiah Sharma. Both are continuing to develop and are vying for a spot in a unit that promises to be highly competitive. Rotation. Perhaps the player with the greatest explosive potential is Justice Terry. Considered one of the most promising talents on the squad, the sophomore brings together physical attributes that draw the attention of the coaching staff. The expectation is that he will play both on the interior of the line and in certain situations as an edge rusher. If he can stay healthy throughout the season, Terry could turn into one of the Longhorns' biggest defensive surprises. All this depth takes on even more importance because the SEC schedule continues to be one of the most demanding in college football. Throughout the season, injuries, physical wear, and constant rotations tend to make a difference. Having several players capable of contributing at a high level allows you to maintain intensity during matches and preserve the starters in the most critical moments. Another relevant point is Will Muschamp's defensive philosophy. Historically, their defenses value physical players on the interior of the line, capable of controlling gaps, making runs between tackles difficult and opening space for linebackers and pass rushers to make big plays. With a deeper and more experienced group, Texas seems to have assembled pieces compatible with this game model. Despite all this positive scenario, it will still be necessary to wait for the start of the season to confirm how these changes will work on the field. The performance of reinforcements, adaptation to the new defensive system, and the evolution of the athletes who remained in the squad can only be evaluated during official games. So far, expectations are based on the movements made by the coaching staff and the players' recent history, with no guarantee that the results will be confirmed. Still, there's a strong argument to believe that the quiet overhaul of the defensive tackle position could end up being remembered as one of the smartest decisions of the offseason. While many look at the big names in the attack or the hottest signings, Texas seems to have invested in a sector that often defines the success of teams fighting for national titles. Now it remains to be seen how this new defensive line formation will respond when the ball comes back up. If Hiro Kanu maintains the high level presented in 2025, if Ian Jefford manages to make an immediate impact, if the young talents continue to evolve, and if Justice Terry confirms all the potential attributed to him, the Longhorns could have one of the most solid rotations in the interior of the defensive line in 2026. And you, Texas Longhorns fan, what do you think of this information? Do you believe that this silent reformulation of the defensive line could be the team's difference this season? Leave your opinion in the comments.